and it concerns partisanship and divisiveness in Congress. You criticize Congress for partisanship and the inability of members of Congress to cross the aisle and work together. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. But your campaign attack ads don't in any way indicate you will offer anything different. If you're elected, how will you work with Democrats in the House to get things done, such as pass a budget, something you know hasn't happened since 2007?
It kind of feels like my Candy Crowley moment. I don't know if you've seen my ads, but they're actually 100% positive. So my ad is simply talking about my opposition to Common Core, my support for equal pay for equal work. But you know what? There are a lot of ads that are out there. One, for example, criticizes the incumbent for support of Obamacare and its impact on small businesses, with two small business owners complaining about the impact on them as employers. The other one is the new ad that came out yesterday that's criticizing his policies related to taxes and higher costs. But you know, to suggest that while we're here, because we have 3 minutes, my opponent is trying to scare seniors to vote for him by telling them that I want to privatize their Social Security, even though that is 100% untrue. He's trying to scare women into voting for him by saying that I want to get rid of common forms of birth control, that I want women to be paying more than men for their health coverage. He says that I want taxpayers to be responsible for corporate pollution. All these things are 100% untrue. Just like his ads where he said that I want to reduce taxes on the wealthy and increase the tax burden on the middle class. Another thing that is untrue. So I think it's a lot of, you could have a debate of substance, of a difference of opinion. Like, for example, we disagree on Obamacare. That is the nature of one of the attack ads that you're seeing from an outside group. He supports it, I don't. But specifically with regards to our TV ads, we have been 100% positive throughout this entire campaign, just so that we can avoid this moment of someone suggesting while moderating a debate that, to try to put me on defense. I'm not going to apologize for my TV ad. I love my ad. It's showing the voters of the 1st Congressional District my family. I love my family. That's part of who I am. It mentions my service in the military, which I'm very proud of. It mentions my opposition to Common Core, because I'm very concerned about my daughters and the quality education for their generation, and my support for equal pay for equal work, so that women have the opportunity. Because my opponent also says that I'm against equal pay for equal work, even though I voted for it twice. So I think it's very important as we go through these campaigns, for anyone out there who ever sees any type of ad, whether it's on TV or radio or mail, is that you contact the campaign and find out what's true and what's not true. Like in our primary where they said, I voted to create Obamacare, even though I didn't vote to create Obamacare. Or I voted for over 100 tax increases, even though I never voted for one. So, I just think that it's just unfortunate that I'm stuck here trying to defend myself when I have a positive ad go out.
Oh, fair enough. I was clearly talking about the various attack ads from other people, the other groups, the Republican National Committee or the Republican Congressional Majority Committee. I get them in my email every day, and
it's one-sided.
It's more of the same.
Democrat committee.
So
Quiet.
it's not. My point is that it's not one-sided at all. The vitriol is on both sides. And it's a constant fever pitch, and maybe some of the folks in the room notwithstanding who are very clearly in one camp or another, but the average resident looks at all of that and just feels sort of disgust. It's like more of the same every campaign. So that's all, and I apologize for ascribing those to you. I don't know, you'll have to explain to me what a Candy Crowley moment is, because I don't know. And when we're done.
Thank you for the apology.
So,
The question was about partisanship and divisiveness in Washington, right?
yes.
Is that correct?
It was about partisanship and divisiveness, and how are you going to work with the other side?
Okay. Well, I have a long history of working with the other side. And I'll just give you an example. This Congress has passed, I think, 26 bills of substance. One of those bills was a bill that I was one of 4 people to write. 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans, called the Water Resources Development Act. Governs our policy with respect to shoreline protection, beaches, inland waterways, deep water ports, and so on. Now, we spent the summer of 13, we 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans, in a room doing something that's now a lost art in Washington. We actually legislated. We actually compromised. Sorry to use a 4-letter word in polite company, because that's what compromise has become in Washington under Tea Party control. And
Stop it.
I'm speaking the truth.
How many
Please, ma'am.
You're looking for truth here.
I'm giving you the truth.
Ma'am, please.
Excuse me?
You're a liar.
All right, that is enough.
Innocent babies on your hands, buddy.
All right,
God
sir.
will judge you.
Sir, will you please leave the room? Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Good. Go.
I don't know what you think you're proving with stuff like this. I really don't.
How much time do I have?
I don't know.
I have 20 seconds. 40 seconds. So we passed that bill with very few dissenting votes. And we did it because we were willing to compromise, we were willing to listen to one another, and we trusted one another. All of those things are lost arts in Washington. The way to fix Washington is for individual members to commit to be willing to work with one another. And that's something that I have done in the 12 years that I've been there. Almost every bill that I've ever offered for filing has been co-sponsored by a Republican. I'm sought out for my involvement, particularly in areas having to do with the environment and higher education on both sides of the aisle. I am committed to being a constructive, positive, pragmatic, solution-oriented member of Congress. That's what I've done, and that's what I'm going to continue to do.
You can't really answer that question and entirely blame Republicans and then brag about how it's everyone's fault. I was just trying to understand. So there are almost 400 bills on Harry Reid's desk right now that passed the House that he won't even bring up to the floor for a vote. Sheila Jackson Lee, who is one of the colleagues of the incumbent, a Democratic congresswoman, has had more votes on bills in the House than every single Senate Republican combined. You can blame both parties, Republicans and Democrats. I'm not going to stand up here and say it's all the Democrats' fault. It's both parties' fault. They need to get their act together. People are frustrated. Folks who are here, they're not here because of some association one way or the other, some group that's in the community. They're here because they care about their country. They care that Washington is not functioning.